Welcome to the Miss Saye Show. Today I have a very special guest, Dave Kim, electric violinist and DJ. He is international. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for accepting the invitation. And Dave, it's such a small title for such a big person with such a big heart. I am drawn to you. I was drawn to you from the moment we connected. And I would love for my audience to know you and your music because you are extraordinary and we would love to hear your story.
Great. Thank you. Well, I am from really humble roots. I have parents that came here. Actually, my father is from North Korea and my mom's from South Korea. I was born in Butte, Montana, and grew up in Reno, Nevada when I was 1 year old and studied the classical violin and was the concert master of my middle school and high school orchestras, and didn't really do much with my violin music there, but I learned that I had ability to learn other instruments such as the piano and the guitar. And then it wasn't until I moved to the Bay Area, I bought an electric violin, and I
How old were you then?
I was 25.
25. Because you shared with me earlier, if you feel comfortable sharing with the audience, you said you learned, but not by choice, when you were a child.
Yes. So when I was 4 years old, I had just a few choices in life. Basically, I could play the violin, the piano, and that was it. So, and then eventually my parents made me practice because I became really good at an early age. It was first an hour and then up to 4 hours a day that I had to practice. So
you say you had few choices. Why were your choices limited? Who was making those choices for you?
My father definitely was very, very strict. If he were still alive today, he would have turned 100 this year. Wow. So I'm the youngest of 7 of his kids. And by the time I came along, he was just very, very strict. And with his background being from North Korea, he was in the Japanese army. Oh, wow. Things were very, very strict.
You said by the time you came along, 7 of you guys, you think he softened by the time you came, or he hardened and became more strict?
That's a good question. I think he was still strict, but he softened to the degree of letting me, as long as I did the things that he wanted me to do, and he would just let me be. And so what that meant was I had to practice 4 hours a day, and behind closed doors, as long as they heard music, they would not bother me. I was 10 years old and I didn't want to practice 4 hours a day. So they bought me a cassette recorder for Christmas 1 year, and I would record the first 2 hours of me practicing, and I would play back the second 2 hours. And I would get 2 hours of my life back every day, but it helped me to become a better musician because I would listen to what I was playing over and over, and I'd re-record until it was perfect.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing with us about that. I mean, 2 hours itself, it's a long time of practice. So there's a lot I want to ask you, but I know recently in your life, you went through this life-changing event, and you told me that it affected your beautiful music. Would you share with us about that journey and what you learned from it?
Yes. So a little over 4 years ago, I was on top of the world performing all over the place. Richard Branson's private island on Necker, Ibiza, Cuba, Dominican Republic, all these amazing places. I was living the life that I wanted to live and truly fulfilling my dreams. And it was a hard road to get to that point, but I was there. And then one day I woke up um, paralyzed the right side of my body from a stroke, and I was devastated. And I remember laying in the bed in the ICU thinking to myself, what am I going to do? I was terrified. But I had this peace come over me because I just said to myself that if I never play the violin again, that's okay, because I've had such a great run and I've met beautiful people. I've performed for amazing events, and it really helped me to just have a lot of gratitude and on with my life, and just kind of a huge weight was lifted off of me. And I really believe that's when the healing started to begin with my body, and beginning with my right thumb. I was able to move it. I would just focus on my hand every time I was awake, and each and every time I had energy, I would just command it to move. And on the fifth day in the ICU, I got a little wiggle, and it gave me so much hope. And I figured out, and I kind of unlocked what it was going to take to get the rest of my body to connect again.
What a beautiful way to describe it. You said, I figured out to unlock what was in the way. You were able to remove it or open a pathway. And so beautiful. You mentioned your music. You healed yourself through your music. Share with us, how is it that your right side of your body was paralyzed? And what was the process of, how were you playing? Or were you listening to your own music?
Sure. So I believe it started way back in the beginning when I started playing music. The one thing that I have had in my life, no matter what difficulty or life challenges I've had, and I've had a lot of them, the music is what carried me through, because I always had something to just mind travel and get lost in my current situation. And I really believe a lot in frequency of music and the therapy of and positive healing it has. And I didn't know any of this stuff. But after my stroke, I had nothing but time. So I was doing a lot of research and what was happening to my body and my brain. And I discovered what neuroplasticity is, and how my brain was wired at such a young age, that because of music and classical music, I think, more importantly, that even though I had brain cells that died through a blood clot, I was able to channel other neural pathways to communicate with my body.
So that is incredible. You created this new neural pathway with your thoughts, with your music, to communicate with your body. I understand that, and I'm very interested in that, the science of. There's a saying that they say, the neurons that fire together wire together. I always say that you can always create this new pathway. You can retrain your brain, but you are a prime example of that. And I'm grateful that you're sharing this with us. Would you be able to play couple of pieces of the music that is close to your heart? I have listened to your music, and it just gives me chills every time I listen to it. I would really appreciate it.
I would love to.
Thank you. Bravo, bravo. Thank you for sharing this with me. Oh, it's gorgeous, gorgeous music. And it just, the first piece was so emotional, so, it was just its own language. It was just speaking to me and to my body without any other communication. It just, my tears were just flowing. Not because I was sad, because I was so much enjoying. I don't know why. I will find out later. Thank you for sharing this with us. And the second piece was beautiful. It was merge of more upbeat and your beautiful music. Now I understand better, because you mentioned before your incident, before your stroke, you wanted to be a rock star, and you were a rock star. You were performing at Necker Island and Ibiza and at these wonderful places that are, you know, when as a DJ or performer, you perform there, like, it's kind of like you made it. You are there. So please, can you tell us how was your music before and how your music changed after your stroke?
Sure. So ability level changed drastically because I had to start from zero,
Oh,
and
wow.
I had to adapt into just figuring out how to play. And at first it was just a few notes, and then I measured my progress by my ability to be able to play. And with the violin, especially the bow, there's so much, like, you have to have control wise. And so if none of these muscles are working, you know, I can't cross over the strings. I can't draw, you know, any sound from the bow. So it was, at first it was I set my rehabilitation around being able to play my instruments again. Everything was around that, because that was the most important thing for me to do, besides to learn how to walk again. So,
That is,
and
wow.
the way the way the way it changed was, it before, I was probably more technical, a lot more like notes and playing really fancy things, but now it's just more intentional, and the music is is more, it's not how many notes I can play, but it's the right kind of note. I play how I feel. And that what you're hearing is my heart, my soul translated through my instrument. And because I have that ability, I just like to close my eyes and just feel the music and play along with it. And I have the ability to do that now. And it was a work in progress, but I finally, after 4 years, I'm able to do that.
Gorgeous. It felt for me like meditation when I was listening to your music. It took me.
Get on the floor and dance. And that's what, that's what I do. And it's whether you're Persian or Indian or Chinese or Korean, that is what I have the ability to music create or control the energy on a dance floor. So why wouldn't I be able to do that by healing? And music can be, I can prescribe music to you and help you if you're feeling a certain way. You're depressed, I can prescribe music to you that will help you, elevate from that. Or if you're mourning, a loss, then I can prescribe music to you and play music for you that will help you mourn. And you know what I'm saying? And if you're getting married, I can provide music that will be very emotional and beautiful. That will, that's what I do.
That's beautiful. Just what you said. You can prescribe music. To me, that right there, that's your thing. I prescribe music, and whatever that is, your music could be, again, as you said, you got to go more towards meditation. I search Google all the time for meditation, like morning affirmation music, morning uplifting, dinner music, calming but yet upbeat uh, evening music. So these are the keyword that I search for to look for music, and normally I don't find something like that I would enjoy. So I think that's a great angle. If you said you have a lot of things at work, so I hope this is one of them, to prescribe music for us.
It is, but you know what's very interesting? What I'm doing right now, and I just fell into this during the pandemic. Is I started teaching music to kids through Zoom,
Right.
and I have all kinds of kids and boys, girls, and I prescribe music to them by the music that they're learning. Okay, and the music that they're playing in the house is music that's healing for the parents that are listening to it over and over and over again. And to see just the healing and the happiness that the parents have, that their kid, I've developed a curriculum for children and for anybody to learn music, and it's really fast. And I have two boys, 11 and 12, so they were my guinea pigs. And I I developed a curriculum through a game called Fortnite, if you're not familiar with it. And there's 350 million people on this platform playing this game. And in this world, I've created a way that kids can go in there and learn music.
Oh wow, I did not know about that. That is incredible. And what is it, fourth night?
Fortnite.
Fortnite, and it's a game, but they can learn
It,
music through it.
it's a game, you learn music through it. And so I use that really as an incentive, because I know kids there, and I learned this through my kids, they really want in there's basically Fortnite it's called a battle royale, where it's a kind of survival game. And it's some moms are against it because they think it's too violent, but there's no blood and things like that, but there's guns and shooting and things like that. But boys are boys. They're gonna do that no matter it's Nerf guns or we all grew up doing that kind of stuff. But anyway, I use this game to connect with my students, and then I go into our different worlds and I show them music, and then we take what they've learned, translate that over to the real world, and they play and learn a song. And when they learn a song, I incentivize them with the virtual dollar, where they can go into the store and buy like skins and different things, because that's all they care
That's
about.
awesome.
They'll do anything to get those skins. So I I describe it in a way that, for an example, the Karate Kid. Are you familiar with that movie?
Yes, yes.
So Mr. Miyagi was teaching Danya-san karate, but Danya-san, he thought he was just doing a bunch of chores, wax on, wax on, paint the fence, sand
Right,
the deck.
right.
But he was learning karate. It's the same thing. There's three things that they're learning though. Not only are they learning, how to play this game, but they're learning music, and the music is a way for, they don't know that they're doing this, but it is a way that they can go sit down on the piano and just get lost in the music, and it's healing. They don't know that's happening to them, but my son has ADHD, he has dyslexia. He was bullied at a young age at school, and he had suicidal thoughts, so we had to take him to counseling and get him diagnosed and all that stuff. And then he goes to a private school that can help him with what he has. And so I was thinking to myself, I need to come up with a way that I can help him
Mm.
to have a tool like I had, because music is so difficult. The way that I grew up learning, I hated it. I don't want to do it. I have students that they can't wait. They look forward for their lessons.
That's beautiful. Yes,
Yes.
I hear you. I was forced to play piano and then I just stopped when the force wasn't strong enough. So I just stopped. But but so I hear you. Like to make it joyful for the kids that they look forward to it. That's incredible. Where can we tap into your bank of music? Is it iTunes? Where can we find your work?
Sure. So my website will kind of be the portal for everything, but I'm actually working on a lot of different types of things right now.
Mhm.
And one is releasing music that is definitely more on the meditation
Mm,
space, and for healing, because I believe that's just what the world needs right now from artists, and
sure.
healers.
Sure. And if there's anything I can do to support, I would love to be involved. I would love to help develop, uh, bring more attention to it, spread the word, because I agree with you. We need it. And clearly it's working. And clearly, in this 1 second, 1 minute that you played for me, you transformed me in a way. And
Oh,
you softened my soul. You helped me release some tension from my day. So if you can do this for me through Zoom, I'm sure many people can benefit from by listening to your music. So your website is, could you please share your website address?
sure. It's www.davekim.com. Pretty easy.
davekim.com, davekim.com. And when we go there, we can find out where we can listen to your music.
Yes.
But it is not on iTunes just yet.
Not yet. I have one song on there, and it's a song that I recorded many years ago. It was my first video on YouTube, 2006, that went viral, and it's me performing Pachelbel's Canon in D, and that was a pretty interesting time in my life, because I was trying to create a wedding business where I could perform at weddings, because I wanted to make extra income, because my father had passed away and I was supporting my mom at the time. So I needed to find other revenue streams, and performing at weddings was one of them. And so I decided to make this video, and it went viral. And then that's the start of my wedding business.
Incredible. Okay, well, we'll look into that video of you, and I truly hope that your music become more available to us on iTunes or anywhere that we can purchase to support you and show appreciation to you and benefit ourselves and our soul, and um, Yes, I really think it's a medicine. It's natural medicine. It's essential. I'm so grateful you came to the show today, Dave. And again, if you're joining us, please visit Dave's website, davekim.com, DAVEKIM.com, and enjoy his beautiful music and his extraordinary story. Thank you so much, David, and I wish you a great day ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Enjoying the content that the Miss Saye Show is bringing you? Then please subscribe and share. Let's inspire together. Mwah. See you Saturday.